clinches it, Olga Konen. And once again, the home supporters are on their feet here at the Albert Hall Conference Centre. She did it the relative hard way after winning the second game 9-2. Soraya Divish-Eibergen, as we've come to expect from her, did provide the fight back, but her 100% record in the NBL has gone, and Olga Konen's remains.
Yeah, something had to give there, because both these girls have been in fantastic form in the NBL so far, and Olga just came out better on this occasion. There was a very significant point in that fourth game when Soraya was 4-1 up, and they took the timeout, and that really changed the whole complexion of the match, and Olga winning it 9-6, so very, very good.
So it is University of Nottingham 2, Surrey Smashers 1 overall on match night 5. Still 2 more events to come. They are the mixed doubles between men's doubles, between Chris Adcock and Robert Blair, and Dean George and Chris Langridge, and the mixed doubles between Adam Hall and Chloe McGee. They face off against Matt Nottingham and Gabby Adcock. We'll be joined very shortly in the commentary box by the victor of the opening event of this match night 5, the men's singles, Kieran Merilles. It was a wonderful way to start the evening. Kieran, just talk us through your emotions. What are you going through when it's 4-4 in the tiebreak, and you know that point is crucial not only to your event but to the match night as a whole?
Yeah, it was pretty nerve-wracking. I knew the men's singles I had to win to give us a good chance to win the match overall, so yeah, it was pretty nerve-wracking, and I was pretty disappointed I didn't finish it off in the fourth set. I got pretty tense, so I think I'd lost quite a lot of momentum, so I think a lot of it just came down to luck in the end.
Well, I'll tell you what, there was myself and John up here in the commentary box, the 500 odd supporters here in the arena, and every single one of us was sort of holding our breath, and the nerves and the tension in here. What's it like to play in an atmosphere like that?
No, like I said, it was really nerve-wracking. It's not often that we play in such a small venue, and I think it's because the game's so attacking with this scoring as well. You just know your opponent's going to come at you, so it's really hard to hold the nerves.
What did you find was the main difference between you and Carl today? I know you haven't played each other in a competitive match, but obviously you knew each other's games from training together at Milton Keynes at the National Centre. So what do you think made the difference for you just to get over the line, or do you think it was just a little bit of fortune, or was anything specific you were trying to do in the match?
I would say I was getting onto the net quite early. When I got to the net first, I think I was quite successful. I think the same tactic applied for Carl. If he got to the net early and I gave the lift away first, it tended to be the person who got the lift first was winning the rally.
Yeah, I mentioned that to Rob, that there was a real battle in the first 2 or 3 sets to really try and take the net, because both of you are attacking so well that whoever gave the lift away was generally being successful in the rallies. There was a little bit more variation as the match went on, but there was a lot of battles for the net play, which, as you know, is crucial in men's singles.
Yeah, I think both of us were really trying to get a net kill in early doors as well, to sort of frighten our opponent from playing the net. But yeah, I think in the end that's what really made the difference, who was going to get the net.
So what's your feelings on this men's doubles now?
I think it'll be interesting. I think it's going to be good to see Rob and Chris playing together again. I think they were quite successful when they first played together, and obviously Chris has now matured a lot and is playing at an exceptionally high level, so it'll be good to see.
Yeah, that's right. Obviously Chris and Rob formed a very successful partnership early on in Chris's career, and Rob almost, as the experienced player at the time, really brought Chris on well and gave him many opportunities. So it's nice to see them back on court, even if it's just for one night. It's really, really good. But I think they're in for a very tough match here. I've watched Chris and Dean play in the last match, where they beat Andy Ellis and Chris Coles from Team Derby, and they were very, very good, very, very sharp. And I think this is a very hotly contested match. Who's your money on?
I think Notts, yeah. I've got to go for Notts.
Well, you had to say that, Kieran, didn't you? You couldn't say Surrey anyway.
Yeah.
Do you feel this is your best chance to win the match?
Yeah, definitely.
As opposed to
definitely. But I think with Langridge and Dean George, they're both really good competitors, and I don't think they're going to be scared by this. So it's going to be interesting to see how both pairs come out.
I can Just give you an update actually on scores going on around the NBL. All 6 teams in action this evening on match night 5. Loughborough Sport are 2-1 in front against Birmingham Lions, and Team Derby are 3-0 ahead against MK Badminton at the moment. So some exciting scores going on elsewhere. Kieran, let's just talk about the stats for you. That's 4 wins from 4. You're adapting quite well to the NBL.
Yeah, it's certainly quite nicely. Obviously, the next match is going to be exceptionally tough if I come up against Raju Gusev, so hoping to keep the momentum going.
I think you must take a bit of belief. Obviously, Carl beat Raj in the last one. Did you see that as a one-off, or?
That's difficult to say. I mean, I wasn't there, didn't see the game, but obviously it went into 5th set, so it must have been pretty competitive, and I don't think Raj would take it lightly either.
Service over, 2-1.
Four quick fire points to open this men's doubles, the 4th event of this match night.
Yeah, you do tend to find that these men's doubles matches, there can be a very tactical affair at the first 3 or 4 shots in each rally, that all 4 players are trying to get the initiative and the attack away, so you often see that. Just hope that both pairs will relax quite soon and we get some exciting rallies.
Service over, 3-all. Service over, 4-3.
Yeah, at the moment it's very, very fast and furious by all 4 players. It's good attack there by Chris. I think it's the pair that really try and get the attack who are going to win this, because all 4 of these players can really hit the shuttle really hard and steep.
Yeah.
Service over, 4-all.
Nice return there by Dean.
Service over.
Just clipping the top of the net, making it very hard for Rob to do anything with it.
Service over, 5-all.
There's not a lot of rhythm so far in the match, Kieran, is there? There's very few rallies at the moment.
No, it's all quick points at the moment.
This is better. Just as I spoke.
Yeah.
But you often find this in men's doubles, that sometimes the rallies are very short and sharp, that you're not getting lots of long rallies, especially at the beginning of the match, and whilst all 4 players are feeling themselves out.
Service over, 6-all.
That was a missed opportunity there.
7-6.
Surrey Smashers got away with that one. Chris was in a good position to kill it, but just snatched at that one.
I didn't see it. Behind your leg. You see it?
A little bit of confusion there. The umpire, very honest, didn't see it. It was behind your leg.
Well, obviously they don't have they have linesmen for all the outside lines, but for the front service line they don't have a linesman. So then it's the responsibility of the umpire to call that. But he obviously didn't see it, or wasn't quite ready for it. But I think it was the correct call. I think it was definitely short, but they relied a little bit on the service judge to make that decision.
Well, we've been trading blows in the opening game of this contest. Were we too loud then, John?
I think so. Obviously, it was like a pin dropped in the hall when we spoke there. So obviously it's a very intimate small hall. So it's anything we say, I'm sure the players are hearing what we're saying as well. So it's just, but that's part and parcel of it. So they've got to learn to adapt to it.
Well, we have to be close enough to see the action, of course, don't we? But that is the first game goes the way of the Surrey Smashers pair, 9-7, but nothing to choose between the two pairs there.
No, and I think there'll be more of the same in the second game. It's I think we'll find that every set will be, very fiercely contested, and I can see this going either way. It's very, very close. There's not an awful lot of rhythm to the game at the moment. The crowd haven't quite got into it because there hasn't been too many spectacular rallies, which is probably why they heard our commentary, because there's not so much noise at the moment. There hasn't been many opportunities for the crowd, as I say, to get excited.
Level play.
Yeah, Rob's very explosive overhead. If they give him lots of opportunities to hit the shuttle down, the Surrey Smashers are being under a lot of pressure. How do you think Chris is feeling about playing in front of his home crowd? Because obviously he's not just representing the University of Nottingham. He's obviously a Nottingham boy, and I can see he's got his mother and father here. He's got his brother in here, and so forth. I'm sure he's got a number of friends. How do you feel? Is he feeling the pressure a little bit playing his home crowd, or is he just enjoying the situation, Kieran?
No, I think he is just enjoying it, but I can imagine there being a little bit of extra pressure and wanting to perform really well as sort of our captain, our star player, and also seeing as Chris isn't really playing as much men's doubles now, maybe he's taking a while to get settled in, but I'm sure once Bob and Chris get into the rhythm, I'm sure it'll go a lot better for them.
2-3.
As Language and George have played a few matches together already, I think that will definitely be in their favour.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, probably Chris and Rob probably haven't stepped on court together for about 8 or 9 years, I would have thought, so yeah.
Service over. 4-2.
Yeah, we've really got to get the crowd have got to get behind Chris and Rob here if they want to get themselves into this match.
Well, that's the kind of rally that the crowd are wanting to watch.
Yeah.
I think it definitely suits the attacking pair in this hall. It's really difficult to defend, especially if you see two world-class players also struggling with the defensive play at the moment.
Right, he looks up to the sky as if to say, where did that one come from? Completely missed it.
I'm sure Chris is feeling fantastic right now for doing air shot. Yeah. World silver medalist and Commonwealth Games gold medalist, and he's still playing air shot, so it gives us all hope, I think.
Well, he saw the funny side of the air shot, but he responded in the perfect way.
Normal service resumed there. Finally, we're getting a little bit of noise from the crowd now. They're really trying to get behind Chris and Rob, trying to encourage them. As I say, it's been a little bit quiet so far because they've not given them an awful lot to cheer about.
Right on cue, John. Right on cue.
Exceptional play. Obviously, Rob's a very, very experienced player, and you know he's a previous silver medalist in men's doubles. So, you know, he's got to try and boss and command this game. He's got to try and take the initiative. He's been a little bit reserved so far in this match, and he's got to try and take a few more chances. Be a little bit more positive. That was really good play there.
Service over. 5-7.
There's an awful lot of pressure at all four players on the net. You see there's a lot of movement forward from the mid-court going forward. None of the four want to give the attack away. They always want to be aggressive and positive. That was great play there by Chris, really stepping forward into the court and killing the loose one.
I think we also see now with the new this scoring system, it looked like Rob and Chris had a nice lead, and now it's already came back to 7-all.
Yeah.
And they're no longer leading the set.
I think it's a long way back for Chris and Rob if they lose this game, especially now that Chris and the Surrey Smashers have taken their power play. So this is game point from two. If they were to win this point, two love up in sets, it would be very difficult to come back from.
They can't capitalise on the power play though. They came back from 7-4 down to afford themselves a game point with the power play, but the University of Nottingham are hanging on in there.
No, but the Surrey Smashers are still in this game. This is a very, very important point.
Crowd sense it as well. Themselves in it for long periods in that rally, but then they turn the tide and hit some attacking shots of their own, and they level it up at 1 game apiece.
Yeah, some great attacking play in that last rally, especially by Chris and Rob. You know, Chris did a lot of movement to the rear court. The two Surrey boys defended very, very well, but if you keep defending, as Kieran said it previously, it's going to be very hard to win in this hall. You know, and eventually the short one came, and Rob finished it very, very well with a smash down the middle. You feeling a little bit more relaxed now, Kieran?
Yeah, definitely. It'll be interesting to see how Chris and Bob come out now, to see if they're a little bit more relaxed and play their game and try and get a good lead. It looked as well in that last rally, they'd settled a bit more in the defensive play.
Yeah, I think there was an awful lot of tension really by all four players, I think, in those first two sets, and hopefully now that you know, both pairs have got a set under the belt, that they'll all relax and we'll see some really long, exciting rallies. As I say, get this crowd really behind it. There's just signs now that, as I say, that the crowd are behind Chris and Rob, and let's hope they keep it going.
Third game, love all, play.
Chris very, very quick coming forward there. It's that loose drop shot by Rob. Very fast player, Chris Langridge.
Service over, 1-all.
Yeah, good attack by the Surrey Smashers there. Really working that rally very, very well, and Chris just intercepting that drive by Robert Blair. Very good attack. Nice play there by Rob. Just taking the initiative, stepping forward, using a little bit of skill. That cross-court block. Do you fancy getting out there, Kieran, playing again men's doubles, or are you comfortable playing your singles?
John, you've seen my men's doubles, you know it's not pretty.
The crowd are starting to warm up into this, as I think both pairs are as well, and I think that'll add a little bit of extra impetus to the match.
Yeah, it was quite difficult for anybody to actually get into the match in the first set and a half, but now I think all four players are starting to relax, and especially Rob and Chris look a little bit more relaxed. They're looking a lot more comfortable. They look very, I don't know, cautious in the first set and a half, but they seem to have relaxed a little bit now, and I think possibly some of the old understanding that they had when they played doubles a number of years ago is just coming back into it, and they're relaxing now. This is better. This is what we wanted to see.
The blockbuster rally that we've been waiting for.
Yeah, really, really good. As I say, it's really evident now that Chris and Rob have relaxed into this match. As I said, the crowd are now into it, and they look a lot more comfortable on court. And it's now Dean and Chris's. You know, they've really got to try and look at ways and find different solutions, because at the moment Chris and Rob are really flowing quite nicely. And the smile on Kieran's face is getting bigger and bigger. No. Again, just as I said that.
Service
Sorry,
over.
Chris.
3-5. Timeout claimed by Surrey Smashers.
What do you think of, Kieran? What do you think of you know, the timeouts that the coaches call? Does it affect your play when you in your singles match? Did you call the timeout, or did the coach call it for you?
I think the coach is taking the initiative. Sometimes when you're playing in this environment, it is quite hard to think clearly, and also remember that you do have a coach at the back that you can look to for advice. So I think it's more of an intervention, or if you are playing well, just to sort of reinforce to keep the momentum. But I think they do have quite an effect on the players.
Yeah, we saw in the ladies singles when Olga was playing there, she was 4-1 down in that fourth set, and then Neil White, the assistant coach, called the timeout, and it really had a big impact on the match.
Yeah, definitely.
She won 9-6. So you think it really does have a big impact on the...
Yeah, definitely, especially this scoring.
Good attack there, good sustained attack by Chris and Rob, and Chris Langridge just trying to be a little bit too clever with that shot, just trying to send Chris Langridge the wrong way, but Chris reading it.
Looks like both pairs now are starting to use a few more drop shots, and it seems to be working quite well to then open up the attack for the big smash.
Yeah, it's making the rallies a lot more exciting as well.
Yeah.
So. Good attack there by Dean. Very steep and just changing the variation in power on the Smashers. Sometimes all out power, sometimes a little bit steeper, some with a little bit of slice. So it stops the defending pair to getting into a rhythm. Very clever. These are vital few points here for Chris and Dean for the Surrey Smashers. They've got to try and get themselves level again.
6-7.
Chris Adcock very sharp, he anticipating Dean's cross-court block and really fast onto it. It helps him being a left-hander there, but he really read that one.
Game point 6.
Big point this one.
Crowd getting behind Chris Adcock and Rob Blair, and it's game point and a chance to go ahead.
Good return of serve by Chris there. Just catching the top of the tape and dropping down, making it very, very hard to return. Two Surrey coaches looking a little bit tense there. Ooh. Just falls back 8-all again. Who's your money on, Kieran, on this point?
Nottingham, of course.
On Nottingham, okay.
You do surprise me.
I think Rob will try and slow Dean down a little bit here, just make him think a little bit about this serve.
Well, this one went right down to the wire, but the home supporters are cheering loudest because it is the University of Nottingham pair that just edge it 9-8 and they go 2-1 in front.
Yes, I think that was a very important point there, to give University of Nottingham that 2-1 lead in this men's doubles. I think it's going to be tough now for Chris Langridge and Dean George from the Surrey Smashers to come back into this match. But you never know. It's every time, as I say, every time I try to call a match, I've got it wrong. So I will just stay. I will keep my opinions to myself. I think I'll leave it up to Kieran.
I think Langridge has been playing really well here, so I think if he can take control for Surrey, I mean, still got a good chance. We've seen how a lot of the games have gone to 5 sets, so I think a lot of Surrey Smashers men's doubles matches have gone to 5 sets, so it's nothing new here.
On a side issue there, do you think Rob's very happy to be playing in green of his hometown?
I don't think he'll be too happy about that, actually.
I must explain that Rob's a big Glasgow Rangers fan, so playing in the green of Glasgow Celtic.
And the yellow, the green and the yellow.
He'll not be too happy about it. If he gets the win, I'm sure he won't mind.
Yeah, I think next year we'll try and ask for some blue, red and white tops. See if Yonex can make some.
A little bit of fortune there, but good defence shown by Chris Langridge there. I was going to ask the player the other day, does it make any difference that the cord of the net is yellow as opposed to being white, Kieran?
I don't think it makes that huge a difference. It seems to be a bit more firm. A lot of the shots in the tape aren't going over. Not much of a difference. I think it's helped the fact that the power play shuttle has gone back to normal. At first we had a pink shuttle, it was a lot heavier, and we saw a lot of errors with the power play, people hitting stuff out the back.
I asked this question to other people who were from Badminton England about the pink shuttle, and they said the shuttle weighed exactly the same.
Oh, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I want a Spanish Inquisition into that.
Do you not think it was all in your head? No? No? Okay.
It's causing a lot of debate amongst the NBL.
It did in the last match. I remember talking to Matt Nottingham in the last match, and he was convinced that it changed the weight, but after speaking to a number of people, they said it didn't. But oh well.
Looked good though.
It looked good, okay. but they've listened to the players and they've reverted back to the normal weight. So.
2-all.
They keep finding Chris's forehand. Obviously, it's the natural side for right-handers to play down that side to try and find the opponent's backhand. But obviously, with Chris being a left-hander, he's reading the shuttle very, very well there.
It's interesting. We talk about momentum in this points format, and in most of the games, even if not the events that we've watched tonight, players and pairs have been able to gain 3 or 4 points advantage quite quickly. In this match in particular, it's been 2 or 3 points has been the maximum that's been between the two of them.
Yeah, you do find that in men's doubles because it's very, very tactical and there's not an awful lot of space on court, so you're finding that the runs of points are very, as you say, 1 or 2 points at a time. Sometimes you'll find in the singles events or the ladies doubles that even the mix that's coming on as the fifth match, that the momentum can last a lot longer, can last for 4, 5, 6 points in a row. But we're not seeing that today. At least not in the men's doubles. Oh. Very nice there. Just sending the Surrey Smashers back on defence, just creating a little bit of space in the net, and he just stops the shuttle over.
I think those are the sort of shots that show Chris is really relaxed into his game now. So
yeah, he's definitely looking a lot more relaxed. You can see he's got a smile on his face. He wasn't looking like this for a set and a half, that's for sure.
Service over. 4-5.
Just this time in it there again, Chris. Do you find there's any drift or hang in the hole here, Kieran? Did you notice anything?
no, I think it plays really well. I think the only thing is it is quite quick, especially when you're smashing. You seem to be able to generate a lot of power. I think one of the things that can be difficult is with the white walls. Obviously the shuttle's white, and it can be quite tough to see at times, especially when high lifts have been played or big high clears, which you mostly see in the singles events rather than the doubles, which are a bit more flatter.
Yeah, we have found all tonight that the attacking pairs have won, so it's obviously a magnificent venue, really intimate, small venue, which is fantastic for badminton. But you found sometimes that smashing in, defending into the white wall, that sometimes a little bit difficult to see the shot.
Is that the excuse that Chris Adcock's going to use for that air shot earlier, do you think?
I wouldn't have thought so. I wouldn't have thought
I don't think he'd enjoyed getting reminded of that one.
7-5.
Really good defence there by Rob. That was a crucial point. It's just kept the nose of University of Nottingham ahead there. Just that 2-point gap. It's going to be very hard for Surrey Smashers to get back into this game.
A little bit of a consultation between the Nottingham pair, and off they go to claim their power play shuttle. This means match point, but it also means match night point.
Yeah.
Big
Huge
point
here. Huge point.
And it's probably gone to the right person to serve. Very experienced, yeah, and he has.
Oh, wow, what a way to take it. What a way to take it. University of Nottingham claim the men's doubles by 3 games to 1, and they claim the match night overall. There is still one event to play, but Nottingham will take victory on the night. Kieran, you must be absolutely thrilled.
Yeah, no, it's great, especially as our first 2 matches we lost 3-2. So it's good to show that the resilience to come back and win our last few matches.
7-9, 9-7, 9-8.
Surrey top of the league as well, so it's a nice scalp going into the playoffs hopefully.
You're not there yet, Kieran. You're not there yet, but I think this has been a big win for you to win, especially if you can take this last mixed doubles. Yeah, that match was always going to be crucial to the outcome of the tie. And University of Nottingham putting probably their two most experienced players together in the men's doubles against a very strong Surrey Smashers men's doubles pair, and they showed their quality and experience there. And as Rob and Chris are walking past us here, they're obviously very, very pleased. They'd be very delighted to win that.
There's high fives going on here in the commentary box as they walk past us here, because it is the first defeat that the Surrey Smashers have tasted in the NBL so far. Let's just bring you up to date with the scores that we've got from around the NBL. Loughborough are now 3-1 up over Birmingham Lions, and Team Derby are on course for the second NBL whitewash. They're 4-0 up against MK Badminton. Some interesting results going on tonight.
Well, I'm glad, because my partner is the assistant coach of Derby, so she'll be a little bit happier when I see her tonight. So I won't get so much grief when I go home. So I'm quite pleased. I'm quite pleased for her.
We've heard what it means to John on a personal note, Kieran, but in terms of the NBL, it's great that it's all so close as we head into what will be the final match night next month.
Yeah, I think every team has obviously had some surprise wins, some surprise losses as well. Derby, I'm pretty sure Derby lost the last match 5-0, so coming back and potentially winning the next game 5-0 just shows some of the comebacks that can happen in the NBL.
Well, Surrey Smashers came into this match night knowing that 3 event wins, so to take the match night overall, would see them guarantee their place in the top 4. They're going to have to do it next time out, but yourselves as University of Nottingham Badminton have really consolidated your position in the top 4.
Yeah, hopefully we can continue to do that in our next match. I think this mixed doubles will be good. We saw how Adam dealt with the pressure on his last match playing with Chris, and he really stepped up to the plate well, and playing with Corey, who's a very experienced mixed player on the circuit, and up against Gabby, who's obviously Commonwealth Games medalist, top 6 in the world, and Matt, who's played a lot of good mix as well in the NBL, so I think this will be a good match.
Another good thing to note about the format of the NBL is the fact that every event counts towards the league table, so it's not like once the match night is won, that's it. It's not that there's no dead rubbers in this. Yeah. This actually really does count, and it's going to be a really good contest.
No, it is vital that there's no, as you said, there's no dead rubber. Every point is crucial, and especially for the teams who are fighting for those playoff positions. You know, even this match now is important. It's important to Derby, to Nottingham, and the other matches left in the other 2 games. Every game that they play is important, and of course Surrey Smashers in this mixed doubles will be favourites, because obviously Gabby Adcock and Matt Nottingham are very well established players, and they're playing a young up and coming star, should I say, in Adam Hall from Scotland, and he's really proved himself, and he's made big progressions in the last couple of years, and he's really starting to get himself noticed both in GB Badminton but in international badminton as well.
We're underway in the final event of match night 5 of the NBL here. The home crowd and the home team will be looking to round off what's been a pretty good night for them.
No, as I say, they would really want a 4-1 here if they could get it. It'll make all the difference in the league table.
2-1.
Some of the really good things about Matt is he really varies attack well. We won't see so many power smashes. He plays a lot of steep angles, a lot of good drop shots, and then the power smash works so well for him.
Nice return. If you were to analyse Adam's game, Kieran, what would you say that his strengths are? I know he's an up-and-coming young player, he's still a junior player, just 18, but obviously you see a lot of him the Scottish National Centre in Scotstoun, Glasgow. What do you think his strengths are?
I'd say his overall quality of shot is really good. You'll see a lot of when he plays his drives, his pushes to the net. They're all so tight. He's also a very good match player. He won't be scared of the occasion. He's very mature, so it'll be interesting to see how he plays here.
Yeah, he's obviously had just one match before in the NBL, and he won the deciding rubber. Is that correct? Against Loughborough in the last match with Chris Adcock. So, as you say, he's a player that I know quite well as well, and he's, as you say, he's not scared of these big occasions. He's not going to be too phased about playing Matt Nottingham and Gabby Adcock. He's going to believe he can win this match.
Definitely.
3-4.
I think as well, we'll also see, like I said about Matt, a lot of variation from the attack. Both players like to play steep angles and then go for the power.
Out. Service over. 5-3.
Obviously, Chloe's quite an established mixed player. She plays with her brother Sam, and they've had a lot of success recently. They had a big tournament in Bitburger. It was German Open.
Yeah.
Sorry, German Open. About 3-4 weeks ago, where they made the semi-finals and beat some really good pairs. So her mixed is definitely a strength as well as her singles.
I think it also helps the fact that she is so mobile in her singles for her mixed.
It is the visiting pair that are strengthening their hold on this first game. 7-3 they lead.
Yeah, I think it's a slight advantage here that Matt and Gabby have played a number of NBL matches together, and this is obviously the first opportunity that Adam and Chloe have played together. So that might be the deciding factor here. And maybe he's a little bit more comfortable with playing with each other.
3.
The Surrey coaches don't seem too worried.
Nor should they. Game point.
Lovely return there from Adam.
Service over. 4-8.
Just a couple of points on the board in a row for the Nottingham pair.
Yeah, as I say, Adam and Chloe they're tough competitors. They're not going to be phased here, and they're going to keep going, as we saw in the ladies' doubles. That we wouldn't have given Nottingham any chance at all in that game, and very quickly it turned around. But Nottingham almost took the match to a fifth and deciding set.
Surrey Smashers 9-5.
So 9-5. Matt Nottingham and Gabby Adcock take the first game, but a couple of game points rescued there, and just the pairing of the Nottingham pair just trying to maybe get to know each other a little bit on court. I mean, how much training, how much practice do you manage to get in?
Well, we don't really do any training together, so this will be the first time that Adam and Chloe have stepped on court. I think it will take a bit of time, and lucky with this system that you do have best of 5, so there is time to sort of ease your way in. I think once Adam and Chloe get the defence up and running, it'll be a lot easier to get into the rallies. At the moment, they both seem to be struggling a little bit with that, and I think that's due to the variation in Matt's attack at the moment. I also think it'll help the fact that they did win a few points at the end, just to give them a bit of momentum going into this next set.
Yeah, I feel that they just maybe need to string a couple of points together just to get the crowd on side. We saw that in the men's doubles, where it took a little bit of time for the crowd to warm into it.
Yeah, I think Adam and Chloe have just got to get that 1 or 2 point lead, and then they'll relax. They'll get the crowd into it. They haven't been in front at all in this match, so as I say, they haven't quite relaxed into it. Surrey at the moment looking very confident, relaxed.
Yeah, we see some Adam's real qualities. Under pressure, he can still play it really tight to the net, hit it right to the back of the court in the corner, then forcing the error.
Yeah, it's been a real breakthrough for Adam this year in terms of he made a final of the Welsh International Challenge in December.
Gordon Thompson, I wanted to mention his name there.
Yeah, with
Gordon Thompson there.
With Gordon Thompson, yeah, they lost to the pair of, they actually lost to Matt Nottingham and Harley Towler from England in the final, but for an under-18, he did exceptionally well, with Gordon, I should say, so I won't forget him.
Hey, he's picking a few of them off now.
Yeah, he's gradually just looking a little bit more confident, a little bit more comfortable out there. But I feel they've just got to get that couple of point lead, just to put a little bit more pressure on the Surrey Smashers.
I think one of the things that really help benefit Adam from being in this team is the fact that you do have Chris Adcock and Robert Blair that can definitely guide him after his matches, give him a lot of good feedback, which I'm sure will help him going on.
Yeah, that's a good point. Nice deep smash there by Matt. Chloe not being able to control a block to the net.
Timeout claimed by University of Nottingham Badminton.
Obviously you got Martin Lewis there, the coach for the University of Nottingham team, calling the timeout there. Kieran, what do you think he's going to be telling Chloe and Adam in this 60-second break?
I think it's just to relax and not worry about the scoreline too much. They're starting to play a lot better now, but the only problem is the fact that we just can't seem to get that 2-point lead like you said before. But I think one of the main things is really relaxing on your defence and not trying to do too much with it, just get it back at the moment, because I think there's been a lot of shots they've maybe tried to do too much with and then made the error.
Yeah, the hand action there from the head coach was keep talking. I suppose communication's key between a pair that haven't played too much together.
Absolutely, and I think that's probably the main deciding factor here, that Matt and Gabby are a lot more comfortable and a lot more comfortable playing with each other.
4-6.
We've let our special guest for the evening, Kieran, just pop back to his bench to watch out the remainder of this match night with his teammates, but good to have his insight up here, and he started off the match night which has ultimately been successful for his team.
No, it's been a good night for both Kieran and for his team, regardless of the result of this last match. To beat the Surrey Smashers, who are undefeated, is a very good result from them, and they'll be very, very, very happy.
The Smashers pair looking to make sure it is only defeat by one event. Going the right way about it. Just a bit of variety there from Adam Hall as well. Again, they're in a similar position that they were in the previous game, where there's less pressure on them now because I suppose they're like 4 or 5 game points down. There's not any sense that they're very likely to get back into the game, so it's just a case of trying a couple of shots and just trying to get a bit of rhythm. Yeah,
they've just got to believe, they've just got to keep going, keep persevering. You never know what will happen. You know, Matt and Gabby have been in control for really both of these sets, and at the moment it's looking quite comfortable, but things can quickly change around, and Adam and Chloe have just got to believe and keep going, and hopefully that they'll be hoping that Matt and Gabby's level drops a little bit to give them an opportunity to get back in the match. It doesn't look like it at the moment, I'll be honest, but you never know. Things can change around very, very quickly.
Two successive victories by 9 points to 5. Not exactly whitewashes, but not exactly as close as the Nottingham pair would have liked.
As I say, the Surrey Smashers were definitely favoured in this mixed doubles, but I was expecting possibly a slightly closer game, but you know, it's not finished yet. You know, Chloe and Adam will keep fighting. They're both really determined characters, and they're not going to stop going.
Is it almost a touch of sort of pressure off now in a positive sense for the Nottingham pair? It's sort of go out there and play and try your shots and see what you can do.
I think so. I think so. They've just got to play their game, whether it's good enough or not. They've just got to relax, just play really accurate, play nice and confident, you know, and play with no fear. You know, you always tell your players, play with no fear. You've got nothing to lose, and they've got to do that.
That came back at some rate of knots from Matt Nottingham, that one.
Service over. 2-1.
I just feel that we've mentioned it already in this game, that if they just can edge a couple in front, that the crowd will start to boost them just that extra bit.
No, absolutely. If they, you know, they've got a 2-point lead here. This is the first time this has happened in the match, and you know, if they can back it up with another 1 or 2 points, then they're absolutely back in this match. And if they were able to take this third set, then it's still anybody's game.
Oh, little groan around the crowd, but they wanted one of those long rallies to go in favour of the home pairing.
No, it was a good rally. There was a lot of, you know, jostling for the positioning around the net. Both girls were really trying to set their partner up, and it was a really good rally. Unfortunately, Adam just missed that last smash down the line.
Tell you what though, when Matt Nottingham gets that high in the air, the angle and the power that he can generate in such a downward trajectory is pretty difficult to do anything about.
Yeah, when Matt really gets behind it and really jumps up, he really smashes it very hard. It's a very, very quick action he's got, and he generates an awful lot of power.
Service over.
Just putting their noses back in front, the Nottingham pair.
They just can't quite get away and stay away. The Surrey Smashers just keep coming back.
Okay. Claimed by Surrey Smashers.
So in comes the power play, and then maybe sense the Surrey Smashers that it is that fact that the Nottingham pair can't quite get in front that's hindering them at the moment, so they're trying to make sure that that still doesn't happen.
Yeah, as I say, the 2 points is important, but it's as much that you deny your opponents the opportunity to take the power play. That's just as important as the necessary scoring the 2 points. That's out.
So Surrey were unable to capitalise on their power play. Nottingham have gone 2 in front again now.
Yeah, it's they're definitely finding that way into the match. And there's another one.
Well, you take that slice of look at this stage, don't you?
It was that was a really good serve by Adam. You know, it just skimmed the net, made it really, really difficult for Matt to do anything with it. And he ended up changing his mind and setting it up for the net for Chloe to kill. Good return there though by Gabby.
Service over, 5-7.
Winning line in this game in sight. Again, it's important that Nottingham don't lose focus of doing the right things.
Yep. Yeah, every rally then you can see the University of Nottingham players just building in confidence there, and they've got 3 game points here.
Point 5.
And as I say, this is the beauty of the NBL, that you would not have called this after the first 2 sets. You just thought there was no way back in the match for Chloe and Adam, but they've somehow just managed to stay in there. They've kept that 2-point lead, and they've just managed to and they've taken it.
And the crowd have certainly got behind them as well. It's really the first time that we've heard them in this final event of the match night. They've not had a huge amount to cheer about from the home team, but got behind them on that game point, and they only needed 1 to convert it.
No, it's and now there's probably a few doubts setting into Matt and Gabby's minds now, because they were very much in control of the match, and Chloe and Adam just raised their level. I think we're going to find that the first 3-4 points of this 4th set are going to be really crucial to the outcome of the match. Whoever's able to take the, as I say, that 1 or 2 point lead, I think they're going to be in a very strong position.
You feel that Adam Hall and Chloe McGee have got to come out, and they've got to come out very strongly.
And they still have their power play left as well, so that could be crucial in this game.
There's the strong start we were talking about.
Yeah, and there's all smiles by Chloe and Adam. They're now enjoying play.
Isn't it funny how quickly that can change as well, because the body language, in comparison to the first couple of games, they're a little bit more springy. They're happy to engage in smiles with each other.
Yeah, it's happening in every match, and you do see it, and it's even more obvious in this NBL format. In most matches you do get that momentum changes, the highs and lows, the confidence levels, but in NBL it's more stark. It's really obvious, and we've seen it in all of the matches so far.
Just seems to me that the Nottingham pair just come out on the losing side of those longer rallies, the ones that you feel would give them that extra little boost, the one that the crowd are behind.
That was a good smash there by Matt, really just tying Adam up in his defence. He just guessed wrong slightly.
But he hits straight back. Keep their noses just about in front at the moment.
3-2.
And they've got that 2-point lead again. It'll be interesting to see if they use their power play in this game, or they might hope to leave it till the 5th game, but that might be quite dangerous to do that, but it'll be interesting. I'm sure they're going to be thinking about it now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, on one hand, they've got to get themselves to that tiebreaker in the first place, but if they do and they still hold the power play, then you've got to say that they'd be favourites for it.
Well, at the moment, the Nottingham pair are being much more aggressive, attacking pair. And Surrey have become very, very passive in their play, and they're just inviting the pressure on them. It's funny here, you've got Hayley Adcock, who's coaching Gabby Adcock and Matt Nottingham. Hayley has just recently got married to Chris Adcock's older brother, Rob Adcock, just a number of 2-3 weeks ago. She's just come back from honeymoon, so there's 3 Adcocks playing a role in this match tonight. Not just Chris and Gabby Adcock. We have another Adcock.
They must have gone somewhere else. She's sporting a very nice tan.
I think It was Mauritius or Seychelles, so it was somewhere very nice, I know that. Very jealous.
Let's bring you back down to earth with a bit of a bump here. It is 3-5. Surrey Smashers still in front in this tie. Behind in this game. Momentum favouring Nottingham at the moment. But as we've seen with the timeouts, they can have such a huge impact because it was called clearly at exactly the right time because Surrey have come out and hit 2 points in a row.
Absolutely. I think it's just a case of sometimes the coach just reminds them what they're trying to do. They became very, very passive in their play, and all of a sudden you've seen that Matt's, okay, they've lost that point, but Matt came out a lot more attacking and a lot more aggressive. But it's looking as though it might go all the way again. Sorry, Adam. Every time I've said that tonight, they've served in the net.
I didn't want to say anything that time. Oh, that's very, very nice to bring the Smashers level.
Yeah, great play by Gabby there, really taking the initiative around the net, being really busy, being very active. That's what you want as a, that's what you want your lady to be doing in mixed doubles, be very active and around the net area.
Wow, that's nice, very nice from Adam Hall. Again, just not letting the occasion get to him. He's just had a quick glance over to his bench and said power play. The nods came, and it is power play to University of Nottingham now. That makes it game point, and that puts us on the brink of a tie-break to end what's been a very entertaining match night.
Well, I think it would only be fitting if it went to the fifth set. We've had a great match tonight, and I think it would be a fitting way to end.
Adam Hall drops down to one knee. The University of Nottingham bench unmoved. So both pairs have failed to capitalise on their power plays in this final event of the night. So it's 7-all. But they've created another game point for themselves.
Yeah, good attack there. Nice sustained attack, waiting for the short lift and then finding the space down the tram lines. Very good attack by Adam. Can he hold his nerve and deliver a good serve? Ooh, he flicks.
Wow, that was a big, big point, and they saved the best rally of this contest for it. And Adam Hall just tried to flick it across there, and it's just the wrong side. And it's match point Surrey Smashers, but it's also game point Nottingham. This is why we love the NBL.
Yeah, it was a good, I think it was probably the right shot. He just missed it though, just missed it. All right, all the pressure's now on Gabby's serve. It's a difficult time to serve when it's 8-all.
Well, it's out. So the University of Nottingham pair have come back from 2 games behind to level at 2 each. And we go into a tie-break here in the final event of match night 5.
As I say, I think it's only fitting that the last event goes to five games. It's been an incredible match tonight, and I think it's a good way to end. You know, both teams are going to be desperate to win this this tiebreaker game. Nottingham are going to be ones to win the match 4-1, whereas Surrey, it wouldn't be a disaster if they lost the match 3-2, but they're going to be really keen to try and get this game. You know, they haven't qualified yet for the playoffs, even though Surrey Smashers are in a strong position, so they're going to want to win this last point.
And it's been proved tonight that they're not unbeatable.
No, far from it.
So 2-all, we're going all the way. First blood Smashers, and that's crucial in this tiebreak.
It is, especially if they can back it up with another point now. You feel this point is absolutely crucial in the outcome of the match. Oh, Hayley's looking a little bit more stressed now.
That's dropped out, 1-1. A reminder in this tiebreak, it is first to 5 or first to lead by 3 clear points, whichever comes first. Having lost the first 2 games, 5-9, 5-9, you would not have expected to be in this position. It is match point.
Yeah, as I say, it's repeated ourselves 100 times tonight that this is the beauty of the NBL. It's the games are never over, and they've got themselves in a position of 2 match points.
Chloe McGee fought desperately hard to keep that alive. Bless her. Great effort.
Yeah.
So it's over. 2-3.
The defence there was incredible. Just getting that one more back, and you could just sense the tension building in the hall every time she got that one more shot back.
Well, 3-3. You didn't expect any less, did you?
No, I'm expecting 5-4. I don't know who to, but I'm expecting 5-4.
Well, match point again to University of Nottingham on the brink of a 4-1 win on match night 5. Against the table-topping Surrey Smashers, the unbeaten Surrey Smashers. The crowd have stayed with us all the way. Matt Nottingham puts it straight down, and your 5-4 prediction was absolutely correct.
Yeah, unfortunately Chloe just lost her nerve a little bit there and delivered quite a poor flick serve. I know it's very hard. It's easy when you're standing up here to say serve short. It's not quite that simple when you're on court with the pressure there. But it's all down to this point.
Well, would you believe it? They've come back from 2 games down to win it 3-2 on the last point of the tiebreaker and give the home crowd yet another victory to cheer. The University of Nottingham Badminton have taken the match night by 4 events to 1, and they've provided a bit of a come down for the Surrey Smashers, who were at the summit for so long.
Absolutely, I think it's good. We don't want one team dominating the whole proceeding, so it is really good that Nottingham have, as I say, probably put Surrey in their place tonight. But I think it makes a huge advantage to have the home support, because, as I say, as soon as the crowd got into every match, it made a huge difference as the momentum changes, the intensity and the confidence level builds within the venue. And as I say, Nottingham were very worthy winners tonight, and they really performed very well.
Let's just bring you right up to date across the NBL tonight then. Team Derby get the second whitewash of this season with a 5-love victory over Milton Keynes Badminton, and Loughborough Sport got a big win. They were bottom of the table before tonight, and they have beaten Birmingham Lions by 4 events to 1. Just look around the Albert Hall Conference Centre here in Nottingham as they cheer their NBL stars. That's a great performance for them tonight, and one that could be key in seeing them get themselves to finals day in June.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting how the table looks at the end of tonight, because the bottom 2 teams, Derby and Loughborough, both had big wins, so it's really narrowed the gap between the 3rd and 4th teams. So obviously Surrey are going to stay in the top, but the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th teams, the gap is really narrow now, so it's all to play for in the final match.
It is indeed. John, thank you very much for your company this evening. We've thoroughly enjoyed it, and we'll see you at the next match night. The next match night is coming up on the 27th of April. Tickets are still available from Sky Tickets or badmintonengland.co.uk/NBL tickets. Prices start from just £5 for child tickets, £8 for adults. It's a great value family night entertainment, as you've seen on the live stream here tonight. The final match night is Surrey Smashers versus Birmingham Lions, Team Derby versus University of Nottingham in an East Midlands derby, and Loughborough Sport will take on MK Badminton to try and figure out who are going to be the top 4 heading into finals day. Of course, you can still get your finals day tickets if you want to see the first ever NBL champions crowned. Tickets are now on sale. It's on the 7th of June. Prices start from £7 for child tickets, £12 for adult tickets. It's at the K2 Crawley in Sussex, and nationalbadmintonleague.co.uk for tickets for that, or search Sky Tickets. The top 4 teams will compete in 2 playoffs, and the winners will compete to be league champions in a championship final, all on the same day. We've seen some great drama so far throughout this season, and that is sure to be a great day, so we hope you can join us for that. Just a reminder, you can catch video on demand. Check out the website on Wednesday the 25th of March for the chance to watch the full on-demand reruns of this match tonight, and Birmingham Lions versus Loughborough Sport as well. We hope you've enjoyed the action. We'll see you at the next match night on the 27th of April. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time